I thought I'd explain. I see a lot of photos online about what nutrient deficiency and what problem does this tree have and what's wrong with that. And the citrus do some strange things at a certain age. See this leaf? You would look at that and say, well, that's nutrient deficient, but it's not. It's the interior canopy. As you go deeper inside, these leaves are coming out. They're probably 5 years old, 4 years old now. The tree's in good health. And I'll walk around it a little bit. I mean, yeah. So it's not that the tree's in trouble. It's shedding out that interior canopy a little bit to open it up. And those are the older leaves. They're juvenile leaves, and the leaf growth is starting to change into a more thicker, oblong shape as they reach maturity. The leaves are totally different than juvenile leaves. Now a grafted tree would be different, but even a grafted tree is going to have some interior shedding. You see the trunk, it's this big around, I mean, but as this happens in the summer, you can prune out some of your exterior, leave your flowers and your fruit sets, and shape your tree back up, and it'll regenerate and regrow and fill back in. This one's doing the same thing. You can see the leaves on the ground. I just gathered them up because I'm about to mow a little grass and try to vacuum them up. But this tree set, it had a lot of little flowers. It's still got little bunches of flowering bud in it, but it shed some too. And I've got it wired in the pot because it was just so top heavy that I can't even reach around it. But I wanted to kind of explain that because it's hard for people to put photos online. So what's wrong with my tree? What's wrong with my tree? Because it's got this and got that. But you know, a tree is going to do what a tree does. These things know what's good for them. They don't have bark, so they're going to try to protect their trunk. They're going to try to shade the trunk area to protect that thin skin from sunburn. I need to prune this. It's gotten too thick and too leggy in there. I'm going to open it up, let some light back in so it'll fill back in. But I wanted to explain that a little bit more in detail because I just keep seeing pictures. Mark Henderson, this is, I don't know, 3 years now. This is its third summer that you sent me a season. That's that big planter I was telling you about. Here's the other one. That one's a little taller. But, and here's some of the other citrus. I have all kinds of them. Here's the variegated pink lemon. And we're just now getting into our warmer weather, so you see all the new growth on everything and really starting to fill in quickly. But my ferns, I just cleaned them all out and took the old fronds out. Japanese maple trees, I have too many of them. I will market some of those. Here's a pretty tree, the ginkgo. It's really grown. It's up to the window. But, and notorious spike here with Spider-Man on. He's got to be up to, I don't know, 7 feet, 7.5 feet. I don't know what. I'm gonna have to take the machete out and prune him. The grapes are coming. I mean, they're growing really fast. I have muscadines out front on the wire that are ripening. There's some little Meyer lemons that were rooted cuttings, and they just keep going. There's little blooms in them. And I'm going to mail out a couple of those here shortly. The pineapple, this will be its third year from the top, just like that. Just follow the directions online and root the top. And it's that little Australian finger lime from seed. I'm in the sun, I'm having a hard time seeing the camera lens. But there's another lime tree that's just gone bonkers. But anyway, the thing about those yellowing veins, and if you're fertilizing, it's not going to be that unless you have a root problem and it's not getting enough nutrient. That's easy enough to tell. Just tilt it out. Make you some 511 with some bark mix. I have another video about that, and the bark really helps. It drains good and they grow like crazy in it. I use a little Osmo coat. I use Foliage Pro by Dynagrow. Good product, has all the trace elements. Makes it a lot easier keeping up with them all. I don't always mix the Foliage Pro, so I use some of the Osmo coat some of the time. This is another Meyer lemon. It's a grafted tree. It's about 6.5 foot tall. It just kind of got done with this big blooming. It's constantly fruiting. It just constantly fruits. I need to clean it up and prune it a little bit, try to increase some bottom growth. But let's take off your tips, and you can root those tips. I have a video about that a little bit. It's a horrible video, but it's there. I need to remake it. About the Citrus hystrix, the knobby lime. And there are some little knobby limes. There's a little clutch of them. I need to thin them out. He didn't grow a lot this spring. He's got his mind set on fruit setting. It's just covered with these little tiny green peas. There's another limb. Well, this is new growth, and you saw what it decided to do. So once they got their mind on that fruiting cycle, it's hard to stop it. Keep the vegetative phase. Once they pass it, they'll go into a growth phase through the rest of the summer as that fruit ripens toward fall. But some of them hold it through the winter and continue to ripen until the following spring, and then start another flushing cycle. But hope that's a little bit of help explaining some of the yellowing on the leaves. It's not always bad news. It's just some of those phases as these trees go through stages and age. I think the leaves tend to last about 4 or 5 years, some cases 3, and then they generally want to lose some leaves, and those are the older growth that's coming out. All right, hope it's a little helpful and explain some of this. Thanks for watching, and could use some more subscribers, and I'll work on some more videos. Thank you.